last night there were students here who had already reached from Quetta, and there are students in 2 buses from Waziristan, from Peshawar, and then from the surrounding areas of Lahore as well, and other cities. In fact, we were not even, by the time it was till 3 p.m. it was just a couple of thousands. And then we started, and then people started pouring in, and we started getting news that people were leaving by 5 or by 6 from their areas outside Lahore. So that's why we see more and more people coming in. And for hours, Vikas, what we saw on the roads were that those long queues of people, not just 1 or 2 queues, the rallies of people, those groups, those long lines would not stop.
Yeah,
that's how the flow was.
Okay, very interesting indeed, Rabia. And there's so much to talk about this rally. But first of all, let's talk about the security situation there. The reports that I've come across have been saying that there's one single entry point for all of the participants of that rally. Does that make things easier or a little difficult?
Well, no, it has somehow, it has not been chaotic as such. It's comparatively, looking at the numbers, it has been quite organized. And yes, the main entrance from where the people were entering and they were allowed, when the numbers started rising, when the numbers were increasing, that is when nobody was checking those people. So although yes, there are a lot of policemen deployed here, there were continuous police checks, and yes, there are parts of quarters of the Manto Park which are still blocked and people cannot come in. Yeah, but from one side, from the front right side, the tents were unhinged, and people were, then they had to allow people to come in because it was getting very congested. So that happened, but I mean, there are points which are blocked, and there are points where the police is present, but the main entrance did not be manned.
Okay, and Imran Khan, Rabia, Imran Khan has been using the appeal of, or the charm of celebrities, of showbiz personalities when he was running an aggressive fundraising campaign for the Shaukat Khan Memorial Cancer Hospital, which runs quite successfully in Pakistan, if I may call it so. And they've once again used that appeal of Pakistani pop music. As I speak to you, you can still see prominent singers, of course, singing sort of motivational songs, talking about self-reliance, being the change themselves that they want to see in Pakistan. And perhaps this is a clever strategy, is it, that has managed to draw so many young people, young educated people, and this rally has turned out to be quite a little concert for them as well, isn't it?
Well, yes, and that's when the numbers were increasing, that's what we started observing, that the youth kept coming in. And yes, they were playing music, motivational songs from bands like Junoon and Vital Signs and other singers, motivational songs, and they were singing and dancing over here. They were Pashto songs, and people were having fun. They looked like they were having fun, and so many young people, and still organized loads of flags of PTI and the kind of slogans, and when they would just, the crowds were roaring. That's the kind of a roar that we had not heard at the PMLN rally, because 2 days back everybody was comparing it to that rally. And yes, Shahzad Roy was a surprise. People did, I mean, most of the people coming in didn't know that this is how the situation will be. They thought that by 6 Imran will address them and it will eventually conclude but because people are still coming in and there is this charged up atmosphere, and they are it's actually a great show on their part, and it's successful. Of course it's successful.
Right, a great show indeed, and a great show the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, Rabia, has been putting up on the social media websites, and you would remember that Imran Khan has been talking very fondly. Some have been saying that he's been bragging about and perhaps pinning too much hope on the following that the PTI enjoys on social media, but perhaps the numbers that we see today is a manifestation of that support.
Well, yes, that is definitely a part of it. But then we also see young men coming from areas like, say, Manga Mandi or Muridke or Sagnampul and other parts of Lahore or Faisalabad or Gujranwala, and they do not necessarily have to be youngsters who are very active on Twitter. Yes, Facebook has a very bigger outreach, but I mean those are the also young men who just wanted to come over. It's not divide. I mean it does cross the boundary of class, and yes, we see a lot of educated youngsters from a particular sort of a background, but then we also see like a complete mix of students, and then students who could be from, say, there are students who are from PYF, Pakistan Youth Foundation, who work with left groups. And a couple of hundred students from that group have come over as well because of they follow Imran Khan. So
and Imran Khan has been quite pleased. We can still watch him smile as we speak to you, Rabia. He's been showing thumbs up to the crowds. He's been getting up to come to the microphone to speak to the supporters, to organize them, asking them to move away from the sound systems. So very pleased, the man today, all smiles indeed. Any prominent statements that have caught your attention till now? We've had some prominent members address the rally.
Yes, we have seen prominent members of the Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf who are basically not known figures as such, but they have important ranks in the party, and they have even when some of them came over and tried to speak to the crowd in Punjabi or use popular terms and spoke. I mean, when they were talking, when they were talking against both the parties that Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf opposes, the PPP, PMLN, they had a very interesting response as well. So these are some of the lines that they have used, and yes, some of the speakers have spoken to the youth directly, and again, they have and the youth responded. So yes, that's how they have been communicating. But it's the man himself that, of course, everybody is waiting for.
Yeah, and the hosting for this rally is being very cleverly done, Rabia. We've seen teasers being thrown in for Imran Khan's address. So just curious, how long are they going to keep the supporters waiting to listen to Imran Khan?
Well, we were expecting him around 6 and then a little late as well. So, I mean, soon though. But I think what they've done is because people are still coming in, that's why they kept the crowd waiting and kept waiting for more people. Because I'm sure they are getting used to that more of the supporters are coming in. But we're being told that in a short while, but time is being given.
And of course, everyone's very anxiously waiting for Imran Khan and speak before the crowd. But very briefly, Rabia, would you be able to draw a comparison between the rally of PMLN on Friday and this one that we're looking at today?
Well, I mean, it was a charged crowd as well. But what we saw were more like traditionally PMLN workers and people who came from the specific neighborhoods, and then a lot from, say, some from Naroval, Gujranwala and other areas as well. So, and still the numbers were not as high at all, no one near these numbers. And that was, in that crowd when they were addressed, it was against, say, corruption and load shedding, and pointedly against the leadership of Pakistan People's Party, the president, and that's how their entire energy was. So the energy of this crowd comparatively is more about change and positivity, because if they are a younger crowd, so that is a marked difference.